the wrong thing, people don't know what you're going to say until you start talking. So how can you say the wrong thing if they don't know what you're going to say anyway? So you have to really identify, the first thing is identifying what the issue is. That's why I wanted everybody to say it, because once you say it, now it's out there. Now you have to deal with it. The reason that I've been here for 5 years and I didn't stop is because of personal development. And I'm so glad that she brought up the Vitruvian Award, because I want to share this with y'all. I was the first person to receive this award from TLC, okay? 3.5 years ago, I wasn't even making $1,000 a month. So I'm somebody that stayed in the business for 3.5 years without success. And I made TLC history, receiving the first Vitruvian Award. I want y'all to really get that, because it's not about the award, but what if I would have quit a year ago? What if I would have quit 2 years ago? What if I would have quit when it got hard? What if I would have quit when I got challenges? What if I would have quit when I found obstacles and when I got distracted and when I was afraid and when finances were an issue, when life situations came up? What if I would have quit? If you quit, you'll never make it. But if you stay in the game, it's always possible that you will. And so I need y'all to understand that fear that's holding you back is never going to, until you break it, it's going to be everything. It's going to be in every situation. So you have to now recognize, because once you identify the issue, you now have to recognize when it comes up. When I talk about patterns, everybody has a pattern. You have to know your patterns. If you're that person that does really well and you're going hard a week, 2 weeks, and then something happens, something always happens, and then you backtrack. You get on your products, you're losing weight, you're feeling good. Then you start feeling yourself a little too much. Then you give yourself a reason to slack. You got to know your patterns. And when you know your patterns, you can break your patterns. If y'all looked at my post today, this is the best transformational journey I've been on physically since I've been in the business. You want to know why? Because I didn't stress myself about it. And I know my patterns. See, right now, I'm in the place that generally I would think I was so fine. I could see my results, baby. I'm feeling good. Then I'll start slacking up on my workouts. Then I'll start slacking up on my good eating habits. I won't slack on my products, but I'll slack on the workouts and the good eating, because I'm feeling myself. So because I know my patterns, I made a decision. In this moment, now I'm going to step it up. Instead of me retracting because I'm feeling sexy, I'm going to step it up so that I don't stop. But if I didn't know my patterns, this would be just like all the other times. This would be just like all the other times. So everybody that spoke today, I'm super proud of you for getting 10-5-2, for getting G5. But I need you to remember and keep that same energy, because whatever you did and wherever you won, you could do it again. You have to remember how you felt when you got this accomplished. What were you doing every day? What were you listening to? Who were you talking to? Who you were around? That helps you see your patterns. See, you got success this week in one area or another. Learn what that pattern of success was for you this week. I heard a lot of people talk about, getting over themselves, letting the push from Coach Dad be that driving force. Special shout out to Coach Dad. He's a large reason why I'm here today. And I'm not talking about here on this Zoom. I'm talking about a 7-figure earner in TLC, because there's a lot of foundational principles that he taught me, even before TLC, that I was able to apply. And so it's that pressure busts pipes and creates diamonds. And one thing about being an entrepreneur, we have to put pressure on our own neck. You have to conduct yourself every day like Coach Dad is watching you. You need to conduct your business every day like your sponsor is watching you, like Boss Lady is watching you, like Coach Stormy is watching you, like God is watching you, because he is. And I want you, the last thing I'm going to mention, because I don't want to be on here too long. I know, again, it's closeout, but this is what I want y'all to get. In order for you to really move forward, in order for you to really be consistent and stay in the game, is do not base your activities on the responses. What I found that every time I talk to people about stuff, number one, they're not doing the basics. See, if you're not doing the basics consistently every day and you're wondering why your business isn't working, that's why. It seems very simple, but it's the truth. When you're not doing the basics, means you're slowing up because of the responses. So when you post on your page and you don't get all the likes, or you don't get the comments, or nobody buys, what do you naturally do? You stop posting, or you stop posting as much. When you start sampling people and they're not buying, then you slow up on the sampling. When you start calling people or inviting them on the calls and they don't get on, then you stop calling people. Stop doing things based on the responses, because the consistency will take you there. God honors faithfulness. See, one thing you can't say about me is that I'm not faithful. No matter what was going on, no matter whether it was working or not, I was faithful to the process. And because I was faithful to the process, God blessed me in the midst. So I want each of you to know you're doing well, but there's going to be times it's not going to be easy. It's going to be times it's going to be challenging. But that's when you have to make a decision that whether I see the results or not, I'm going to keep going. You got to think about it like this. If I want to lose 20 pounds and I don't lose it in a week, if I stop using my products and stop working out, am I going to lose 20 pounds? No. But that makes sense to us. So why doesn't the rest of it make sense? If you know that you want to be, if you want to make $1,000 a week, you want to make $500 a week, whatever your goals are, do you really think slowing up the process is going to get you there faster? So you have to know your patterns. You have to catch yourself when you slack because of the lack of results. You have to catch yourself when you second guess a post, or you second guess going live, or you second guess calling somebody. Know your patterns. When you find your roadblocks, identify them and speak against them. Your affirmations should be everything that you want. All of your thoughts, all of your actions need to be focused on what you want. See, when you're in alignment for real, whether you talk to your sponsor all the time or not, you're going to be on the same frequency. See, when I got started, I didn't understand everything, but I was told to get binary qualified, so I did because I trusted the leadership. See, alignment is trust. Alignment is trust. It's not your sponsor upline's responsibility to do the business for you, but it is their responsibility to give you the opportunity. Everything else is up to you. So whatever you believe that you may not get from your sponsor, from your upline, from your team, become the leader that you will want to follow. Become the example that you want to see. It's not about what your upline can do for you, it's what are you going to do for your downline. I made a decision that whatever I was seeking, I was going to give. So, even some of you that are at different levels, I'm going to just use this as an example. Let's say, for instance, people are inboxing you that want help. They're in TLC, they may not be on your team, and they want help. See, people did that to me all the time, but I have made a decision that I know one day I'm going to have a big team. So what am I going to do? I'm going to help whoever needs my help now, because God could be watching me to see if I'm ready for that big team. He's going to see if I'm going to help the people now that aren't attached to me, because he knows, so he'll know if I'm ready for him to give me people to help. So you never know what you're experiencing, if it's a test or not. You don't know if God is watching you to see if you're ready for your next level. So when you think it's the hardest, when it's the most challenging, when you get the most pushback, that's the time that you have to take a minute and say, wait a minute. I know this got to be a test. This got to be a test. I'm going to pass this test. I'm not going to let people get me out of alignment. I'm not going to let myself get out of alignment. You have to stay in the game no matter what. So I just challenge each and every one of you to take the same energy that you got from your win and keep applying that pressure, even when you're not always winning. Because one thing about business is ebbs and flows, is highs and lows, is peaks and valleys. But when you trust the process and you keep that same energy, you're going to get to where you want to get to. The reason it took me as long as it did was because of me. So if you ever feel like you're stuck, if you ever feel like you're blocked, sometimes you got to reinvent yourself. This is the third wig that I've worn today. My reinvention a lot of times is in my hair. That's my thing. Whatever your thing is, reinvent yourself. If you're not getting the results that you desire, see, I had to start walking in what I wanted before I had it. So when I was really ready to boss up, I had to start doing it in advance. I didn't wait until I was a boss to boss up. I had to start doing it in advance. So when I set my 120 Smart Ship 5 years ago, I was putting it out into the atmosphere to God. I was putting it out to my team, to my upline, that I believed that I would at some point be the next story. It didn't make sense all the time financially, but I knew where I wanted to go. So if I knew that I wanted to be a top earner, if I knew that I wanted to be a 7-figure earner, even if I didn't fully believe all the time I could do it, but I knew I wanted to. So I definitely got in position and did the things that I was coached to do. So you just have to make sure that you're always being coachable, that you're always willing, and that you're always hungry. See, I have people that reach out to me and want help. And then when I give them advice, guidance, or whatever, they have their own interpretation of what they need to do. And instead of me getting frustrated, I just step back. If you think you have a better way, go ahead. I remember I used to think that. I would only do what I was comfortable doing. So when I saw those 10 core commitments, I knew that was amazing because that's really the blueprint. But the problem is, most of us don't do everything on that list consistently. We only do what we're comfortable at the level we're on. What if each of you made a decision, whether you're an affiliate or a regional, a national, or global? What if you made a decision that you were going to be consistent in the 10 core commitments every single day? Whether you felt like it, whether you thought it was working, whatever it was, what if you just decided you were going to be consistent and you were going to post every day? You were going to use your products. You were going to stay plugged in to 1,000 families, 1,000 Black millionaires, to Zooms like this. What if you made a decision that you weren't just going to pick one area? You were going to be consistent in all of them in your personal development. Because see, that personal development, y'all, is more important than the products. Because there's always going to be something. Life happens to everybody. Everybody goes through something. You're not the only one. But that personal development is going to help you push through when you don't want to. So I just, I hope that I was giving some value to y'all. I really pray that y'all continue. That, like I said, the energy was amazing. And I want y'all to keep that same energy. I want you to remember, each and every one of you, every time that you make an accomplishment, I need you to celebrate your small victory. When you went live and you normally wouldn't, celebrate that victory. When you got that one sale, congratulations to the young lady that, she keeps tabs on her post to see who's paying attention when she's talking about the business. She got up outside of her head and she called the people and signed up 2 people. Celebrate that, sis. That's amazing. Celebrate the small victories, and God will continue to give you things to celebrate. So I celebrate each and every one of you. I love you guys so much. Feel free, if you ever need anything, guys, an encouraging word, reach out to me. I'm always doing things on my page, Q&As and things like that, to help as many people